We are back right now with an I-Team exclusive.
Keenan is considered armed and dangerous, absolutely.
He's accused of shooting a woman in Waterbury in September, but some say the crime should have never happened, despite the man's violent criminal past. He was let out of prison 182 days early.
Yeah, it's all because of a state law that allows inmates to earn time off of their sentences for good behavior. It's something I've been looking into for a few years now, but for the first time, we're getting the perspective of police on the law. Crime scene tape and evidence markers mark the spot of a horrific shooting. The date, September 19th. The location, Ridgewood Street in Waterbury. This man, 27-year-old Marquis Nunn, accused of pulling the trigger more than 13 times, shooting an innocent woman in the chest.
We had a bystander, a young woman that was visiting a friend in the neighborhood, just minding her own business, going about her way, trying to get home, that it's now a victim of a very serious crime.
Waterbury Police Chief Fred Spagnolo says the intended target of the shooting escaped unharmed. Nunn escaped too, and tonight remains on the run. But some say the shooting should have never happened in the first place. That's because the I-Team uncovered the day Nunn allegedly fired off those rounds was the day he was originally set to be released from prison after being sentenced to 5 years for a 2013 armed robbery. Instead, he was discharged in March, 182 days early.
It's a difficult situation. I think that releasing people like Marquis Nunn puts the public at harm. It puts our officers here in Waterbury at harm. It creates a very volatile situation here in the city and I think throughout the state.
So why did Nunn get out of prison early? It's all because of the Risk Reduction Earned Credit Program passed by the legislature in 2011 and signed into law by Governor Dannel Malloy. It enables prisoners to earn up to 5 days off their sentences a month for good behavior. Inmates convicted of 6 crimes are exempt from the program: murder, felony murder, arson murder, capital felony, home invasion, and first-degree aggravated sexual assault. In 2015, the legislature added persistent dangerous felony offenders and persistent dangerous sexual offenders to the list. Nunn's crime of first-degree robbery is not on the list.
So what do you make of the fact that if Nunn hadn't been released early, this shooting might have never happened?
I think it's a tragedy, and if it could have been avoided at any cost, I think it's very important to look into that.
Chief Spagnolo says the program has taken a toll on his officers.
So many of the people that you work hard to put away end up being eligible for early release. How frustrating is that to the department as a whole?
It is a morale issue when people continuously get released on an early release program or released on a very significantly reduced bond.
State Senator Len Suzio has been an outspoken critic of the early release program. He says Nunn is just one example that the law is not working.
What I always say, Aaron, is every single one of these incidents where a violent crime is being committed is proof that the program did not rehabilitate the prisoner.
For years, Suzio has been on a crusade to make all violent offenders ineligible to receive credits.
It's time to end this program. It's playing fast and loose with the lives and the safety of innocent men, women, and children.
Spagnolo says no matter what happens with the early release program, his department is dedicated to their community and will continue to work hard to put criminals like Nunn away, regardless of how long they stay behind bars.
Especially in violent crimes, they take it personal. They work their noses to the grindstone. We make great cases, we make great arrests.
Now, a spokesperson for the Department of Correction declined an on-camera interview, but sent us this statement, which reads in part, Marquis Nunn last entered our system on 9/23/2013. Having served 90% of a 5-year sentence, Nunn discharged off that sentence on 3/21/2018 after successfully completing a period of community supervision. Nunn is currently wanted, and there is an active arrest warrant out for him. If you do have any information on his whereabouts, you're asked to call Waterbury Police. Meanwhile, we're told the victim of the shooting remains in the hospital with a very long road ahead.